Okay, today is January 5th, 2015, and the time is about 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's build a couple baskets or check on a couple things here. First thing is, I noticed that this one we had set up for a breakout in our last video at the end on the pound Aussie, the Aussie dollar, and the Aussie yen did break out to the upside. So we'll keep an eye on it once and see what it does, if it does continue on up. And like I said, you can always add your take profit lines now if you want to, just by clicking on it. Click on the take profit and you can put it wherever you want to. So what we can do is we can just throw one in here for the heck of it. Let's put one right there since we're coming up on here, maybe on some resistance. If it does continue on up, put one up there. And as you can see, we already got a stop loss down here, which is the fixed stop loss. And we'll just leave it fixed for right now. If the price does come back down to the bottom of the channel, it will take us out. And we will have a approximately 41 pip loss, which isn't too bad. And for now, I'm going to delete these channel lines because I no longer need those. We're already in the trade. And we got a temporary take profit here, which we can move around if we start going up. And as you can see, all three trades are down a little bit at the present time. We'll see what happens as the day goes on. This just kicked in as the candle closed above my breakout line. So we'll keep an eye on that one as it goes along. But I want to do is just for practice and show you some different ideas or ways to do a basket. Let's create a couple baskets and see what happens. I was looking down here. I do have the robot stop, but he was running a minute ago, so these are fairly up to date. Like I said, these update every 5 minutes when the robot is running. And he's only been stopped for a few minutes now, so these are fairly close. And as you can see, the pound is real weak. So why don't we go up and create a pound basket out of these bottom four, since there's four of them there that meet my 80 or greater criteria. So let's do that. And first of all, of course, the robot is stopped, so we're going to, oops, it always does that. Hate that. Go open up the expert because he's stopped. And we're going to call this the GBP basket. And we'll be creating a 1 hour basket with this. And like I said, we're going to use these bottom four here, so it'd be the pound yen, pound New Zealand, pound CAD, and pound Aussie. Be four pair in this basket. And we're going to write the basket. And there they are. They look good. 60 minute. I'm going to do 1 hour. Change the name. And click OK. And it should be creating the basket. So all we can do is clear out the tab. And I can stop the robot if I want to, because I won't be using them just yet. And go open up our offline chart, which was our pound 4. And we'll put on a template. And I'm going to change this to a line chart. Hit minus a few times, see if we can see what's going on over to the left. And as you can see, we may be at a little bit of a support area. We had support over here before. And we had a little bit of resistance here before we broke out. So this may be a good candidate. We can do our breakouts on it. Just set up on it for the heck of it. all we got to do is put our BT14 on here. Change this because it may be in use. And I got to change this to a 0.1. And since I'm not going to be using any of these entries, I'll leave them alone. And all the other changes, you should be familiar with those by now. If not, go back and look at some of the other videos. Click OK, and there's our 4 pair. And hit the minus key a little bit. I'm going to shrink this up just a little bit here. And as I said, looks like we might have a little bit of something going on in this area. Hit plus key, F11, hit the refresh, make sure everything is refreshed here. And what we can do, we can play this as a breakout. But since none of us can read the future, know exactly what's going to happen here, we can play it in both directions. And I'm going to use breakout, so that means the candle's got to close. Remember, above or below the line. And what you can do is just put it, looks like a good spot. And our breakout long, if it goes there, we can put there. So we're all ready to go on those. Now, one thing I haven't showed in the previous ones was, like I said, you can put your take profit and stop losses in here in advance if you want to. Now in this case, if it breaks out long, remember the stop loss will be placed at this bottom line, and if it breaks out short, it will be placed at the top line, and then you can change those later on. But say you wanted to put a take profit in here someplace, if you see some point over here where you think you may want to put a take profit because of maybe some past support or resistance places, you can do that. And the way to do that is, you notice when you're using both breakout lines, you have these other two boxes here which have numbers in them. Right now they're 0 to 0. And if you remember from reading about the basket trader, these tell you what the risk to reward ratio would be. So if you wanted to add a take profit, what you do is you click on it, and this would be your positive take profit. And right now you can see it shows it as a 4.1. So the risk is 1, and you're going to make 4.1 if you leave it at that spot there. Now that is being measured Okay, the way that is being measured right now, you notice it says 4.1 because it's assuming you're going to break out of this top line. Now it doesn't know exactly where the candle is going to close above that, so this number will not be exact because it's been measured from this top line. So if you were to look at this, you have a take profit right now of 687 pips. And your risk, if the trade was opened exactly on this line, is 166. So if you divide 166 into this top one, which was around 680 or 685, 7 right in there, divide that into there, you will come up with this 4.1 risk to reward. You are, if you open the trade exactly on that line, you would be risking this amount, because remember, when the trade is opened, this bottom line is your stop loss, and if you had your take profit up here, this would be your reward. So at this point it would be 4.1 But like I say, the candle is never going to close exactly on this line. It's going to be closing above it. So your reward will be a little bit less at this time, and your risk will be a little bit greater. So this number isn't exact right now, but we don't want the take profit to be at that point. Actually, it's up too high. So what we do is we're going to move them down here, and we can just have them there. And remember, once the trade does break out that way, you can move these around, see what's going on. This doesn't mean it's going to go there. And you can see now our risk reward also has changed to 2.2 because we got less profit potential here. We still got the same risk, but we got a different profit potential. And now what we do is you click this, and that locks that point in. Now he does go away, but when the trade opens up, if it takes a trade in this direction, that take profit line that you had placed on there will reappear at that point. Now we also want to put one down here in case it goes that direction, just for the heck of it. This is just for educational purposes, just to show you what to do here. You don't have to do this. So you click it again. You notice it's up above. That doesn't mean anything because we haven't placed him yet. And we're going to put him down here. So let's put him at the same value, 2.2. Just for the heck of it. There, 2.2. The risk is 1 and the reward is 2.2. Same as going in the other direction. Now to lock that point in when the trade is opened, if it goes short, you click the button and it'll turn red. And remember, the line goes away. But the line will come back when the trade is opened. At this point, you don't know which way the trade is going to go. That is why those lines are not on there. But once the trade decides if it's going to go long or it's going to go short, those lines will return. And you will be able to see them, and then you can adjust them. And like I said, your stop loss will also pop up here on the chart. And you can also move that around or change it to a trailing stop if you want to. So for now, we'll try this. Looks like we got some consolidation going on here. We'll see if we can get a breakout trade with this or not. Now, in a lot of instances, when you put these channel lines on the chart, if they're too far apart, if one was way up here and the other one was way down here, and it gives you an awful big risk, you say, I don't want that bigger risk. You can split the difference by hitting the stop loss. And then what you do, you can put it in the middle between the two, because you don't know which way it's going to go. And basically now your risk has been cut in half. But in this case, we don't want to do that because our risk is already fairly small. So there's no use in making it any smaller by putting the stop loss in the middle like that. So for now, we leave that off. We don't need it. And we'll wait and see if we get a breakout here or not. And of course, before we do that, we gotta always start the live trading, otherwise nothing is ever going to happen. Okay, so now we got that. Now let's go back and look. And maybe we'll create another basket. I see the yen looks fairly active over here. Why don't we create a basket with these 4 yen pair? Since we've got 4 of them that are greater than 80. Now the robot is stopped. Remember, we stopped him last time. So we got to open him up again. And I also want to change this to JPY because we're going to make a yen basket. Click OK. Okay, the first one is pound yen. Euro yen, Swiss yen, and the dollar yen. make a basket out of those 4. Remember, this is just for educational purposes. This is not, doesn't necessarily means this is the way you do it. There are many ways to do it. This is just showing you how to do it. Doesn't mean these are good baskets or bad baskets that could be traded. Click OK. Oh, of course, it always helps if you put the name of the basket in there. Yeah, pay attention to what you're doing once in a while. APY 4. And it's going to be an hour, so we're going to make a 60-minute basket. Click OK. That time worked okay because the guy running the computer here finally did that the right way. Okay, so done with that one. Clear the tabs. Just going to stop the robot for now. And as you can see here, the yen is strong as it shows up here. That's why right now the yen is on the quote side. So when he is strong, you would be selling these pairs if he's over on the quote side. The other ones on the left are the base pairs. So we're selling the base pairs because the yen is strong, as shown us on the 1 hour. And if you look down here on the M30, the yen is strong. And it looks like he's been gaining strength all the way through. Like on the weekly, he was weak. Daily, he picked up a little bit of strength. 4 hour, he's picked up some more strength. And now we're up to 81 on the 1 hour. And we're at 79 on the M30. So it appears like he has picked up some strength. So we'll see what he looks like and see if we can do anything with the chart. Okay, yen is this one here. Template. Plain. Okay, refresh. I'm into a line chart. Go back over here and refresh him just to make sure he's refreshed. Don't want to delete him. And I don't remember if I refreshed the other one or not, but we will refresh it now just for the heck of it. Oops. Okay, remember, the reason I'm getting that is because, remember, that's that one I forgot to change the name on. As you notice, it says C5. There is no C5. Remember, that's one we forgot to change. So we might as well just delete that because there is no such one. These are the 3 we are using right now. So that one that I forgot to change the name on, I really didn't create. So that's why I was getting that error. So I just deleted it out of there. Okay, close. Got everything refreshed. Now we can go over here to our yen. And we'll put our basket trader on there. And remember to change this number. And I got to change this to 0.1 for this demo broker. And I don't think we'll be using any of these. So I'm just going to click OK. At the present time, I'm mainly looking for breakout of consolidations in some of these that are moving. And as you can see on this one, I got an area in through here, some consolidation, support, resistance. So expand it back out. Make sure we refreshed it, F11. Let's see here one more time. Okay, yeah, we got possibility there's some more downside here. So, just for educational purposes, let's do a breakout on this one also. This is just trying to show you how to do this. It doesn't mean these baskets are going to be any good or not, but it's a good experiment, good practice to do this. Go like that, and like I said before, if you want to, you can put some take profit lines on it. There, by doing that, we'll put one right in there. You can see risk reward is 1.9. If you want to, we can move it up a little bit. It's not going to be exactly 2 to 1 because, like I said, you don't know where this candle is going to close above or below. So we're going to lock that one in. Now we hit the take profit line again, and we'll put our short take profit in here, and we'll make that a 2 to 1 also, just so they're matching. Okay, click the button to make it permanent. Like I said, they go away, but they will. One of them will reappear when the trade opens up, if a trade is taken, depending on which direction it goes. So that way, at least you have a take profit in there. So now if you walk away and don't come back for several hours or even tomorrow, at least you know you got to take profit there. And like I says, the EA will put a stop loss in here automatically on the opposite side of the channel, so you're protected. So you don't have to sit here and watch this thing go up and down in this channel here for hours. Now you can basically walk away and come back later on. And if you're in a trade, fine, you can move your take profit or your stop loss, do whatever you want, get an idea what it's going to do. And if you have it set up in the EA properties, you can even have it send you an alert, email alert, or whatever kind of alert you want. So it will alert you to open the trade, that it has opened a trade. And always remember to click on the start the trading button up there, so it turns to trading live. So it is actually looking for a trade. And make sure these buttons are turned on, this green one, the red one, and the yellow one. If you click those off, then it will not do that. Like here, if you click off the yellow button for close, it will not close the trade when your stop loss is hit. Or if you have the short button, the red button turned off, or the green button turned off, it will not take a long or a short trade, depending on which one of those you got turned off. You turn them both off, you turn all three of these off, the robot's going to do nothing. Even though you got trading live turned on, he will do nothing. You can have this all set up, and if you got these all turned off, he's just going to ignore it. He says, I'm not taking any trades. There's a trade there, but I'm not going to take it. So let's let that one run for a while, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, this other one, he's still running. We did get a breakout on that one, so we'll see what happens, if he does go back up or not. Not going to win them all, so. Okay, that's it for this part then. Now all we can do is wait and see what happens. Okay, here we go. This is Tuesday morning, just a little bit after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. A little bit later here this morning. I had to get outside and shovel all the snow. No fun when it's 10 below, but I figured I better get it done before the wind picks up and then the wind chill goes to 40 below. So anyway, what we're going to do is kind of go over what took place last night. Now these are continuations of what we had set up Monday, on our Monday review. This is just a continuation of that now. And we're going to see what transpired last night. Now, I just remember we just set these up yesterday morning, and I just let them run hands off. Came down and looked at them once in a while during the day, but didn't do anything. And we just checked back this morning. Normally you won't do that, but we're on a demo account, so this is a good way to check the EA to make sure it is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, or what we think it should be doing. So, we'll kind of recap what happened last night. We ended up with, we had three baskets here so far. And last night, the ones that were open did close. So what we're going to do is go back here and show you some of the screenshots first. Remember, we can save those under files if you have it selected in your expert properties. See, here they are: buy trade open, sell trades open, and those are the trades closed. So we can take a look at those. I'm going to move this up out of the way. And this is one basket here we're going to take a look at. And we'll see what kind of trades we had on this one. Remember, this was the first trade here. Remember, this was the first trade set up on this. This is where it entered the trade. And it tells you that in the files folder there. It says sell trade opened. And this is what it looked like when we had it set up. Remember, we had it set up with a channel breakout, and it broke out to the short side, and you can see where the trade actually entered. It was right here on the red arrow. That's because that's where the candle would have closed. Remember this, we need a closed candle. Now that may seem like a long distance, but it's a safe way to do it. Okay, that's when that trade opened. And you can see the pairs here. 3 pairs we were trading on that one. So now let's go look at it and see what it looks like when it closed, which would be this other image here. Okay, this is what that one looked like when it was closed. I believe we talked about this one on Monday. This is the one that made $95.63. There you can see the open again, where it opened. And there's where it hit my trailing stop loss. Came back and hit my trailing stop loss. And as you can see, we did find a little support down here, so that's kind of like we were expecting it to go down there. So that's that one. Let's see what's the next one here. I believe this is the same one. Yes, same pairs. The only difference is here, it went long. As you can see, it broke out on the long side. Now this one's going to be a loser. So you're going to have losers, you're going to have winners. You can't win them all. But this one here, you can see it broke out, so it says we're going to go long. So it took a long trade. Okay, now we'll see what that one looks like when it closed. Now, like I said, this is the loser. So let's see, open up this other image. And we lost $46.81 on, because it turned around and went down and hit the bottom of the channel, which I had set up as a trailing stop, and took me out. So that was the loser. Same pairs. Now if we would have played that to not quite so close with the channel lines, as you see, we could have probably got a short trade out of it, and we would have ended up making some money on it. But they ended up losing because he had it just a little close. You can see how close it is to the green there. We just barely broke out of the channel. So if we had had the channel up just a few more pips, up like there, and then the bottom one down here, we would have broke out to the short side, and actually we would have made money on this one, maybe 120 pips or so. But you're going to have some winners, you're going to have some losers. So that's that one. Now we move on to this next. Okay, now this was another winner. You can see it here. And actually, remember I said these were hands off. I just set the take profit and walked away. That's why you notice we could have got twice as much out of this one as we did, because it's still going down here, where we picked up what? $292 pips. It actually went down for another 400. So if we would have got up and watched this, in the middle of the night, or even in this case, don't even set a take profit. Just leave the take profit blank, like I said, and wait till you see the trade develop. Like I could have come back this morning now, and I could have put a trailing stop in here, or I could have just shut it down, take my money and run. What the heck. Now this one, let's see if I can get the right one opened up here. I believe it's this one here. This is the image. Yep, this is where it took the trade. This is the open. There you can see where it took the trade. We closed below the channel. Remember, the candle closed below the channel. That's where we entered the trade. And you can see it placed the the stop loss. In this case, a fixed stop loss on the opposite side of the channel, because I don't have a trailing stop turned on, so it's a fixed stop loss. And that's where we entered. And here's what it looked like when we closed. We hit our take profit. Remember, we had a take profit set on this one, so we did hit the take profit. And as you can see, I had the trailing stop turned on, and it did trail. You could see it would moved here. Normally it would have started out up here at the opposite side of the channel, but you can see it's already moved down to here, so we're already, even if it would have backed up to there, we were still even in a little bit of a profit there. So this one turned out pretty good, made 182 bucks, 182.89. That was on this chart here, and you can see we're kind of stalling around here a little bit, but we could have got more out of that one if we would have paid a little more attention and watched it once in a while. You only got to watch it every couple hours or so. You don't have to sit there and watch it minute by minute. But like I said, these are just set up, set and go, let them play, see what the robot can do. And this is the way you learn how the robot runs and where you should be setting your channel lines to avoid some of these false ones, like in that last one there where it took a long, and if we had just a little bit wider channel, we could have got in on the short and we wouldn't have had that loser. So anyway, that's that one. Now the last one is the yens. Remember, we had 4 yens in this basket, and as you can see, this trade is right here, 228 pips. But if we would have kept the take profit out of there, just let it blank, we could have picked up maybe another 300. And then, like this morning, looking at it right now at this time here, just get out. Just close the trade out if you're down here like this. Now that one, this is what it looked like when it opened. This was our setup at the open. And that one, apparently the candle closed almost on the breakout line. Might have been a pip or two the way it looks just below it. That's where that closed. That's why it is very close. And you can see it put in a take profit here. But this one here, I was down here at the time that this one entered the trade, and it had put my take profit too close, so I had moved it down to where I showed you on this other one. I had moved it down to here just to get it out of the way. But like I said, you're probably better off sometimes not even putting one on there until you see how the trade is going. So that was the open. Here we'll look at the close of that one. And this is what that one looked like when it closed. And like I said, it's still moving. You could have doubled this. 220 bucks, we could have been at 440. But this was just a set and run and let them go. And you can see the trailing stop here is trailing. So basically that's kind of a recap of those trades. So for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these. Stop the robot. And we'll get rid of him. And I'm even going to get rid of the chart because we'll probably, these are all been closed. I ain't going to watch them anymore. See if we can make up a new one. Get rid of that chart. Remember, you always got to stop the robot before you remove them, otherwise you're going to lock up your computer. Get rid of this one. And we'll get rid of this one too. So that's not doing too bad for the week so far. So far we've had, I've showed you what, 4 baskets? We've had 4 basket trades. 3 winners, 1 loser. Did pretty good on those trades. Could have got more out of that one if we would have just played them right. But that was just kind of a test of the set and let go. So now what I'm doing, like I said, it always keeps all this stuff over here. I'm going to get rid of these indicators on here because I don't want it to keep creating these baskets. Remember I showed you some of this back in the cleanup. Okay, so first we'll stop this robot for now. And let's see what we're doing. We're cleaning up the indicators. I get rid of all these. We don't want to be creating a bunch of offline charts that we're not using. Okay, now that they're not going to be created, I can go back over here. And if you want to save these, you can save this stuff. If you don't, but I usually try to go in. I'm just going to go in here and clean everything up because we're not using any of these. These are the files that are created by the basket writer. The ones with the pounds in front of them are the ones the BT14 uses to find its chart and then match the pairs to it. And the ones without anything in front of them are the ones that are used by the indicator to write the baskets. And then of course you got these buy trades and sell trades, open and close. Those are all the images. They make them into a GIF file. But I'm just going to clean this out. It gets kind of messy after a while. Get rid of that. And then I'm going to go back to my history folder. And let's get rid of some of these. See, we got a bunch of them in here now. Offline charts. Eventually, as you keep doing this, you're going to have a lot of them. So clean them up. Just get rid of them, not using them. Okay, so now we're cleaned up. We're just back to our robot here. And we'll start him back up again just to see what's going on. And for now, I'm not really making any pairs. I can just leave it as JPY. It don't matter. But I'm not making any baskets. I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to click OK. I just want to get everything refreshed here. And like before, we're sticking to the 1 hour chart. I prefer the 1 hour chart. And you can look over here in the 1 hour bar graph and look at the New Zealand dollar has really taken off. And if you go back to your news calendar, you can see the New Zealand dollar, 8:49 a.m. Central Standard Time this morning, a couple hours ago. Had a news announcement, and it looks like it was, they must have liked it because it took off. So that might be what caused that jump in the New Zealand dollar. And it looks like the US dollar, a little bit negative, went down a little bit over here. Get that up out of the way. What did the dollar do? You can look, well, the dollar is down here a little bit. I don't know where it was yesterday. So, but anyway, just for the heck of it, let's create a New Zealand dollar basket just to see what it looks like. We missed the boat. We probably missed the breakout, but let's just create one of these first three. We got 3 here and we got 3 down here, so it's kind of up to you which way, which kind of basket you want to make. Let's try the bottom 3 here, the 3 red ones. So that would be the, first of all I want to do is go back and change that name, remember. Change this to NZD. Change that to NZD. Okay, and now you're probably saying, well, why can't we put these 3 in there and these 3 in the same basket and then just reverse them? Well, you can do that if you want to, but like I said in the past, when you start reversing them in the EA, the chart does not represent your reversals. So you want to, you're better off to make 2 baskets, 2 separate baskets, and then do it that way rather than trying to reverse them in the EA, because the chart won't represent what you got in there. And in this case, you got 3 going one way, 3 going the other way. You almost hedged out of the whole deal, so your chart could go sideways while your price in reality is getting better, So let's just do these 3 for now. Pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, and the Aussie New Zealand. Like I said, we just want to see what it looks like because we're probably late. Anyway, that would have been when you could have set up on this morning before the news. And we'll see what it looks like, and you probably find out we could have maybe made some money. And this will be enough. Oops. And of course then I don't do it right like usual. NZD3. Okay, that time we made it. Gotta pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, let's just clear all the tabs for now. Stop the roll button. And let's go up and see if we got a New Zealand basket up here yet, if it's created it yet. Oh, there it is, 1 hour. Something don't. Okay, there's the New Zealand basket. Okay, and here's our basket. Open him up. Put our plain template on there. And looks like it took a big dive. So and expand this a little bit. And that would have been, if If you would have opened this up probably before the news, you could have put breakout lines, one there and one there, and you could have caught this down move. And how much did we get? We could have got maybe 325 pips, somewhere in there, depending on where it took its trade and where it didn't take its trade, and is it still going to go down or not. You would have had a trailing stop on it now. So for now, I'm not going to do nothing. Like I said, we missed it. You're not going to catch them all. No use in jumping on a speeding train here. We'll wait for the next one. And it could be going into some little consolidation here. So what we can do, I'm just going to put the EA on here just so I know which pairs this one is involved with. And since we don't have any other ones on here right now, I can leave the same magic number. And I got to be sure to change this to 0.1. And I'm not going to set up anything right now. And there we go. The reason for doing this, now I know which pairs are here. And we'll check back with this later on today and see if we're consolidating here. And if we are, I may go and set up a breakout on it. But for now, it's just a watch. We did miss the move. Okay, just looking through this. Notice the pound has got a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in the red. And if you look down here, you can see the pound is really weak. Let's just let's just create a basket once with them, and just for the heck of it, just to see what it looks like. So I'm gonna stop the robot and change this to GBP. And now we're gonna do the pound. New Zealand, pound yen, pound Aussie, pound US. Okay, we got 4 of them that meet our 80 minimum. Pound chef is close. But let's just try these 4. Let's see what the basket looks like. And remember, 60-minute. And we're going to clear out the tab, stop the robot for now. And let's go up and see if we can find that one. There he is. Template, plain. Refresh. And as you can see, doing some support down here. Looks like we might have broke through it a little bit, but just depends on what it's going to continue to do here. So what we can do, it's like we did before, let's go back and make a weekly out of those same pairs. Remember, stop the robot I already have. And we're going to call this, just put a W after it. Signify it's the weekly, so we separate the names. We got to do the names. And that one had the New Zealand, the N, Aussie, and the dollar. Aussie and the dollar. And we're going to write this basket. Or I just want to look at it, see where it's been. So that's why I'm creating a weekly. I want to see if I can see any more support resistance if we're likely to be turning back. Clear out tabs, stop the robot, open. Oh, you see we screwed up. Look at that. So you guys weren't paying attention, and I screwed up. Look at that. I forgot to change the time on it. See, I created a 1 hour, which I didn't want to do. So let's get rid of that. Let's do it again. Let's start fresh so we do it the right way. That's the last one we created. Get rid of that. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to go up and get rid of it out of my history file. And that's this one right here. So I don't get it confused. As you can see, we're getting confused already here. So, okay. So now, since this expert stopped, I got to get him going again. I already got the correct name in there. Click OK. Pound New Zealand. Here we go again. Now you watch. Now pay attention. So I do this right. Japan. Aussie, US. Aussie. US. And there's a 4. And see, this is what I forgot to do. I forgot to change this to a weekly, which is 10080. And GBP W4. See, by me making all these mistakes, you learn which ones not to make yourself. So click OK. And let's clear out the tabs, stop the robot, see if we did it right this time. And there, now he says weekly, see? So now we're good. Open him up, template, plain. And we'll put that on there. And you always want to check up here to make sure it is a weekly, and it says weekly, so we're good. Hit the minus key a couple times. Okay. Okay, and here looking at this, looks like, yeah, this is the weekly. It almost looks like we're probably headed back up again. As you can see, we're going back up. We are consolidating here some. But we may want to look for a reversal. Breakout back to the upside over on the 1 hour chart here. So this may be one you'll want to watch to see if we get some consolidation here. But just for the heck of it, what we can do, I'm not recommending this, but this is just for practice. Let's put the PT on here. We got to change this number, remember, because we got him on another chart also. So make sure you change this number. And I gotta change this like usual. Put him on the chart. And like I said, maybe we'll play this as a breakout just for the heck of it. See what happens. It's up to you where you put these lines, so see how many pips we got between them. 209, about 200 pips in there. So if it breaks out to the upside, it would give us a 200 pip stop loss. And if we did go up here ways, we might be able to pick up 500 pips or so. It just depends on what this does. Remember, I'm just doing this for practice now, so this doesn't mean this is going to be a good trade, but it's just to show you what's going on. And we'll see what happens. And we'll turn live trading on. I'm not going to set any take profits this time. I'm just going to let it go, and we'll watch it and see what happens. Okay, so that about does it for this wrap up. Like I said, so far we had 3 winners, 1 loser. And our loser would have been a winner if we would have had a little bit wider channel on our setup, remember. So right now we're set up on this one here to take a trade if it breaks out. And then back here on the New Zealand, kind of a set and watch. What we can do here is, just for the heck of it, we can do is set up on this one. And maybe watch for a retracement just for the heck of it. Remember, these are just experiments, so they're just to see what happens. We can set up on this one like we did on the other one. And maybe we'll catch something, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll go the wrong direction and we'll get stopped out. But these are just experiments, remember, we're just practicing. And there we got about 200, a little over 200 pips between them, so it's similar to the other one. So we'll turn him on and we'll see what happens. What the heck? It's just a demo account, we're practicing. I'd like to see more consolidation in here before I do this, but we'll put them on here now and I'll check later on today on these two, this one and this one, and we'll see what they're doing. And if anything, you can always move these lines during the day. Just grab them and move them a little bit if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But like I said, we're just practicing, so I think that's about a wrap up for today, and we'll see what happens with these two overnight.